Well, good morning, Vietnam. I'm Dennis Hudson at orangequant.com, your host, and I'm about to tell you about what I call the $50 trade. This trade can go $0 to $1,000 in just one day, or you can lose the whole 50 bucks. It's easy to access this trade. We are not talking about a pink sheet stock or some penny stock. This is a legitimate type of security. Now, mainly, all I'm going to do right now is show you some charts. This video might take, I don't know, I might get as far as 10 minutes. I'm not going to take any more than that. Probably a lot less. But you need to know that you can lose your whole $50. And I am strongly suggesting to everybody, do not risk more than $50 on this kind of trade. And unless, if you really can risk, say, $100, and not lose any sleep over it, okay. Now, for details, a lot of details are over at my website, orangequant.com, and there's an FAQ page, and it talks about it, and you can learn a lot more about it than what you'll see in this video. But if you absolutely would lose sleep over losing 50 bucks, then you need to stay away from this trade. Trading 100 bucks, you'd be able to cover both sides pretty easily, and 50 bucks is just a number. A lot of times you can buy in as low as 7, $5, something like that, and get multiple units of the security so that if it does work out, you make a lot more money. Now, as I say, this is a spectacular trade, and the way I figure, if you're trading and you have at least one trade a month that's risky and you lose 50 bucks on it, this is a better trade for you because the payoff is much better if you get it right, and the loss would be the same, right? Alright, let's move on to view some of these spectacular trades here. Now, this trade comes along every so often, every few weeks or so. And this one that you're looking at now is not the best one, really. You'll notice to really score on this, you'd have to come up with $175 minimum, and you could have got out, towards $1,300, depending on your technical skills. These are daily charts I'm showing you, so all this action from candle to candle to candle is one day at a time. Now, this one's a lot better. You could have got in at, say, $38, although the day before was $7. You probably would have missed that based on what I know about how this trade works. But let's say you got in at 38, you could have got out $200 or $234, and that might have made you happy. Let's look at another. See those green dots? Those are optimal entries based on the special instructions that I give you. I have analyzed this thing to death. Spent the last couple of weeks doing so. Today is September 19th right now, 2011. I started about 2 weeks ago reanalyzing how I trade. And anyway, after I stumbled into this, I really began to analyze it. And what you're looking at, those green dots, would be your optimal entries for this kind of a trade. Now, you can see you could have got in on one as low as $7, got out at $300. Well, if you got in at 7 on a $50 trade, you could have bought maybe 6 of them, and then you figure in your brokerage fee. So that'd be 6 times $1,300. The $500 entry at far left, you'll notice, is not an optimal entry, but you can see what it could have produced. It would have been like a 3-bagger. Now, I hope along the way you've been noticing that you could also lose money in a hurry on this, and that's why we say risk the $50 a month if you can stand it, and no more than that, okay? Alright, if you're wondering what's your likelihood of a tremendous profit versus getting out flat or even losing the 50 bucks, I did an analysis, and this is part of it, and it shows like the span across, let's say say you were using a 3-day trade window, and I've rated the outcomes, the probable outcomes, dark gray being a poor outcome, or gray being a poor outcome, the blue being fair, you might have made a little money, you might have broken even, and the yellow are typically good outcomes. You might want to take a look at that and see if I've rated it fairly. The numbers along the left side of the scale there that you're looking at, just ignore those. I should have taken them out. They only relate to a certain part of this chart. Just ignore those numbers. Look at the gaps between in any 3-day window. Look at the distance between. And here's another. I'm just, I just sit here and I laugh at this stuff. Here is where you would have likely bought somewhere between $14 and $28, and you would have sold somewhere between $20 and $24 the very next day. I mean between $20 and $204 the very next day. As I say, there are greater and lesser trades like this all over the place. You just have to know where to look and what to look at and when to trade it. That's key. When to trade it, how long to hold it, how much to bet. Smart money management, risk management, asset allocation. Critical. Okay, just in case that logo covered up some of the action for you, I'm going to run through all of these again right quick so that you can pause the video to study them. There's one. Okay, 175 to 1300. Here's another somewhere around 14 to 204. Here's another one, $14 to $45. Not bad. Actually better than a 3-bagger. Here's another. This is the analysis I was talking about. And here is, well, different buy points, but mainly you buy you would have bought around, probably around $38 on that, to the left of that $7. And you'd have held on and made a decent amount of money on that too. Okay, and then this one where you would have bought around, you could have bought around 7 or 38, but likely you'd have bought at the 38 level and got out around 234. Okay? Now if you like this kind of trading, hustle on over to orangequant.com, and there's an FAQ page that goes into a lot of detail. From there's a link there to it, and you can learn about the $50 trade that can go $0 to $1,000 in just one day. And by the way, I do charge for it. I have sweat and bled for this type of trade and analyzed it to death. It's $22.95. It's a large text and graphics file. It's not automated for you. Actually, only about 15 pages are about the $50 trade. I also roll into that the synthetic trend lines that you can see all over my YouTube page there with the accuracy about 85%, and a little tutorial on how to use synthetic trend lines, how to draw them with MS Paint. I'd say altogether you got about 15 to 20 pages of reading to do without the synthetic trend lines. And that's all about the $50 trade. So go over there, take a look, and we'll have a chat room. In fact, I've already set up the chat room so that as these trades come up, and they do come up all the time, the lesser ones, we'll be able to chat about it and help each other out. By the way, the synthetic trend lines package is still available at $14.95, but what the heck, for another $8 you get this whole thing. So see you over at orangequant.com, and you have a great trading week. Let me give you a heads up on something. Excuse me. Go take a look at Leonard Holmes on Monday. That's today, September 19th. Go take a look at the action on that, and then watch for the rest of the week KBH or KB Holmes. KBH is the symbol. Len is Leonard, L-E-N. And watch KBH for the rest of this week, all the way till Friday, and watch what happens to KBH on Friday. Just a little hint, heads up. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for stopping by. We are going to have a ball with this.